love that.
we really need to make a tally ho board.
I know, right?
You can say like tally ho.
Take one. Oh, this is take two.
Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Between Two Barbells. I am your host, Cassie Johnson, and I'm here with our April member of the month, Ingram Baylor. What's up, Ingram?
What is up?
How are you, man?
Pretty good. How are you doing?
Not too bad.
Not too bad.
How was that workout yesterday?
It was brutal. I mean, it wasn't.
How are your calves feeling?
Nah, my fronts are a little.
Shins.
Yeah, my shins. It's a little sore. But
did you run in those, or did you have your running shoes on?
No. Because when I first got on, I talked to Justin about it. And Justin's like, I've run a couple miles in them. Why? Like, I just ran a mile a day in them.
And those are the nanos.
Yeah, they're the 10s, the X's, but just the Froning edition.
Froning edition. Yeah.
So
you're one of those that I can't run in my nanos. I gotta have my running shoes.
Yeah, if we're running anything like a mile, I'll run in a running shoe just because they're a lot more comfortable. Like the 400, when we do like those, like the 400 and then box jumps or something like that, I'll wear these. But for anything over 400, 800, I'm running.
I get
shoes.
So tickled because every member has like their own if we run, and yours is if it's the 400 or whatever, they're like, if it's anything over like X amount, like I have to wear my running shoes and this and that. But I get tickled.
Everybody has their own niche.
Yeah.
And then Justin, he just wears whatever.
Yeah, he just goes with it. Or like Kevin will like run, or like Steven too. He'll go out there and like they're running barefoot on the gravel, and I'm like, nah, I gotta have some shoes on my feet.
Yeah, I'm not even like I don't even like walking in gravel barefoot. Like,
no,
that's not fun.
No. Well, even like I remember like when I was a kid, like I had some friends that could like run, and I'm like, no, where's my shoes at?
Yeah, I'd prefer shoes.
I'm a sissy, I guess. Well, even like I knew like Rhett was up here barefoot the other day, and I know that he's not going to go far because he's not walking on that gravel by with bare feet. But anyways, member of the month.
And here we go.
Here we go. So how long have you been here? Remind me.
Oh, it's I think it's just a little over a year because let's see, I started.
Well, I know you did Murph last year.
I did Murph last year, but I start. Did you do your the Buddy weeks a year apart, or did you do a little?
Buddy week may have been January when we did it.
The year, not this last one, but the one before is like the first time I stepped foot in the door. Other than I helped Chris paint some stuff.
Right. Yeah.
I was watching y'all, and I was like, these people are crazy. Like I told Chris, I was like, some of them people are crazy. Like, I was like, that does not look fun.
Yeah, and now people look at you and they're like, dude, that dude's crazy. Like, that does not look fun at all.
No, it doesn't.
So you came for Buddy Week.
Came for Buddy Week after a lot of nagging from Chris and Cassie.
Okay.
And Annie.
So what all were they telling you?
It was...
Drink the Kool-Aid, drink the Kool-Aid.
Well, it was... I had already... It's funny, like deer hunting really got me into the gym because me and Chris kind of had sort of the same, like, we had talked about it. It's like I killed a deer and was dragging it out and was like, it wasn't a very far drag, but it's like, man, I'm too young to be like
this out of breath. Yeah.
This out of breath dragging this deer. So,
dude, that's hard though. Like that,
it's
like dead weight.
Dead weight.
How much do you think they weigh too?
It would just depend. Your average deer's 100. Like a doe's probably 60, 90 pounds.
But the one that you killed was probably like 145.
150, 160. But no, and I knew he had been working out, so I started going to Planet Fitness. I still wasn't 100% on CrossFit, so I was doing Planet Fitness, and the whole time I was still, Chris and Cass were like, when are you going to come to the gym? When are you going to come to the gym? And I was like, I was like, I don't know. And then Buddy Week come up. Chris like, look, it's $40. Just come. He even, to be honest with you, he was like, I will pay for it. He's like, I'll pay the $40. You just come. He's like, I'm telling you, you'll enjoy it. Da, da, da. So I come, and I'll never forget it. It was very first workout I did was a 400-meter run, 50 air squats, and we did like 3 rounds of it.
4 rounds.
Was it 4 rounds? Yeah, I did 2 rounds. But I'll never forget Christina. I'll never forget it. Was Christina was in that class, and I was like, she is a machine. Like, I was sitting there like, I'm about to die. Like, I'll never forget that. It was horrible. Because I thought I was like, I'm in decent shape. But now, granted, like, strength-wise, I probably was better than if I hadn't went to Planet Fitness.
Yeah.
But as far as cardio was,
when you combine the two, you're like, this
you're
is a train wreck.
This is bad, you know. And it was, then I don't know, I guess it just, because I was so bad at it, it was like, oh, God, nah, I gotta.
So typically on that, because we've done that a couple times, and typically when we program that, it's like a 12 to 15 minute cap, something like that, for the 400 meter run and 50 air squats. So, and if you did that now, you'd probably do it in like 11 minutes.
Yeah, it wouldn't be as bad
like,
at all.
That's so it's been a little over a year, and the fact that like you went from this to this is insane.
It's the probably, like I think we talked not too long ago about it, was, or you had said something, and it's just you have to trust the program's there. You might not like the workout every day, but at least just do it. Like when we did something, I think it was cleans, and I had like a 20-pound it was a 20 or 30-pound PR over like 6 months. And it's just you don't notice it because we do it every day until you do a workout of that caliber, and it's you see the results. You're like, oh, okay.
So with Murph coming up, what did you think of? Because the atmosphere in here, like during the open and the atmosphere in here during Murph are just like insane. So if you started like, maybe it was January, February, somewhere around there, and then
it's probably closer to two. Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember.
So let's just say like maybe you came like maybe right after the new year, and so you're in here for 4 or 5 months, and then you did Murph. That was probably like the biggest like event that we did. What were your thoughts on Murph?
Well, I had I wasn't fully working out yet, but I'd come to the Open whenever you and Mark. I watched you and Mark go head to head.
So that would have been October.
Yeah, and that was like, I was like, this is cool. Like but see, I always played sports, so like stuff like that, I enjoy it. So when we do the Open or any like Gunny, Murph, like I love it. Like that's the fun part of what we do. You get to cheer people on, other people cheering you on, and then you have most of the time you have all your like alpha athletes in here, so it's funner because you have like like I always mess with Justin. Like, are you coming? If we have like a running one, and he's like, no. It's like, well, I need a rabbit.
Yeah.
I need someone to chase.
Sure.
I do better like that than being in front and you're not having to chase nothing. It's more staying in your head more than just being able to chase anybody. But no, those are the fun. That's the fun stuff. The big events that you can cheer people on, and other people's cheering you on, and you're testing yourself against something, at the same time versus, just looking on the whiteboard and being like, oh, they did 12 minutes. Let's see if I can go 11 or whatever.
Right. Yeah, there's nothing like having that other person like in class with you.
Yeah, side by side.
And I heard someone said it, that you're not necessarily like wanting to beat them, like they're not like your competitor, they're like your rival.
Oh yeah, exactly.
And that rival is going to push you to be a little bit better, a little bit better,
oh yeah,
a little
for
bit
sure.
better.
There's no one in here's, and that's the good thing about like everyone. There's not a single person in this gym that doesn't want to see you succeed, or even if it's beating them in the workout, they're gonna be happy for you. They're like, man, good job, you killed that, or and it's vice versa all the time. As far as we have good people. I mean, it's hard not to. I think, and that's for me was one of the main reasons in staying was just it's the atmosphere, the people. I mean, everybody wants you to see you do well in the gym and out, outside as far as just daily life. It's
100% true.
And just for me, I think me and you talked about it a while back was the every day Monday's chest day, Tuesdays whatever, it just become boring, and you don't unless you have a friend that you go with. Like I was going by myself, like and it was most of the time I was going at 6 or 7 o'clock at night because that's the only time you go in the morning, it's packed. You go 3 or 4 in the afternoon, everybody's there.
Yep.
So, and it's all, everybody does their own thing, but it's just, it's boring, especially by myself. And then you come here and it's something different every day. It might not be the most enjoyable thing every day, but
it may not be what you want to do at all.
Yeah,
but,
right.
and what we talked about yesterday, usually the workouts that you don't want to do at all, those are probably the workouts that you need to come to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like I didn't necessarily want to come yesterday, but I was like, Murph's going to be here before we know it. So get some running in, put a vest on, do something.
So what I like to, because almost everybody that comes in has some type of like Globo gym experience, It's someone I was having a conversation and I feel like they hit the nail on the head. Now there's some people that like that's their jam, and like if that's you, hit it up, and if that's what's going to make you better and more healthy, like hit it up. But for all the rest of us that are like here, when I was because I went to a Globo gym for a while, felt like a funeral.
Yeah, everybody.
It's so weird.
Well, it's just everybody had. Now, granted, I went there for 2 or 3 months, so you start. Usually, if you go around the same time, like you go at the same time, I go at the same time. We see each other. We might conversate a little bit, maybe. But most of the time, people are earbuds in and they're heads down. They go from one, they do their thing, and then mirror. And then that's about it. And you go home, you leave, you talk to the front desk people more than you talk to anybody.
Yep.
And you walk out and you leave, and that's it.
That's crazy.
And but I understand a lot of people, $10 a month. It's
for sure. And if that's your jam, that's your jam. But what I love about here is it's just like you said, everybody wants to see you do well, and those days that, we get slaughtered on some workout, but it was just like their wheelhouse. I'm like, hey, dude, like, you freaking crushed it. And, like, I tried to hang with you, but, like, I don't know what you've been eating, but, like, you took it to another level. And then, vice versa. If, like, you do really well, people are going to, like, give you high fives. And, like, people don't, as an adult, you don't get high fived very often. Like, when's the last time you got a high five for, like, folding the thing of laundry?
Yeah,
like, hey, dude, you did freaking awesome, But, like, in here, you get it all the time.
Yeah, for sure. Especially, everybody, even if it's just a regular workout and somebody gets a PR, it's like the gym stops sometimes. Everybody's like, what? Or everybody's looking to see if they get it. Or anytime big weight gets put on, even if it's for whatever, everybody, you can kind of catch everybody looking to see if they get it or not, And it's, I don't know, that's the fun part. It's just, and the camaraderie everybody had, like, most people talk to everybody, you don't, and like, me and Chris were talking about this the other day. It's like, you come here and now looking back on it there's a lot of people that I talk to on a daily basis when I come here that in the everyday world, we would have never had conversation. Our paths just would have never crossed.
Right.
We have doctors and surgeons and just day laborers that are friends that talk, and you would just never have that at any other time.
Yeah, their paths would have never crossed.
And I don't think it's more of the fact that one's better than the other as much as, like you're saying, we just would have never had that time unless you just went in there to have surgery or something.
Right,
As far as friendships and stuff like that goes, it would have just never happened without.
And there's something to say about going through something hard, and like these workouts are hard, and like as silly as like overcoming adversity, but like it's something hard that you're having to do, and if you're doing that with a group of people, like those group of people mesh. That's just like,
especially when you do those like Murph and Gunny and all those really like brutal workouts, you can see like everybody's cheering, even when like, everybody knows. Last thing you want to do at the end of the Murph is go stand by the road and cheer somebody on, But,
but that's exactly what you're doing.
Yeah, so and you don't even really, or go run an extra, you see that people all the time. They run an extra lap because somebody's struggling on the run. Running's not everybody's suit, but that's just what we do. It's like you said, it's just the type of people that go.
God, it's beautiful.
Yeah, because,
I love
but
it.
most of the people that do stuff like this are going to do this in everyday life, just because it takes that type of mentality to be able to. Not everybody. I mean, really, when you put it on, I feel like if you ask the average person, do you want to go run a mile, do 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, and 300 air squats, and run a mile? Most people are like, no. Like, well.
Actually, no, I would not.
We do it once a year with a vest.
The people, and they get fired up about it. And I'm like, do y'all realize how hard this workout is? And they're like, yeah, I'm going to buy a vest this year. And I'm like, no, really, like, it's hard. And they're like, yeah, I love it.
Yeah, and then you got people like Rachel, Tommy, and Christina that do it 10 times.
And we're going to do it for fun, too.
We're going to do it 10 times before the actual...
To get ready for it.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
I don't want to do that.
I'll pass on that. But, like, actual Memorial Day, like, I'm down.
I'll be here.
I'm down for sure. So, remind me, did you fix your plates for Murph last year, or what did you do with the super heavy plates?
I still have them. I just didn't know what I did. I did a little redneck engineering. I took 2, just regular, like barbell, like old ones, like the old school, like circle ones.
Mm-hmm.
Took 2 10s. I found it on YouTube. Guy was like a cheap way to make plates, because they were out of the, what is it, like the 8 3/4 plates.
Right. Yeah.
So I took my 20-pound plates and put some cardboard and like traced them out, and flipped them over and traced the other side out, and I cut it out, and then I put the plate in between and made like a sandwich with the cardboard, and then cut the center hole out and just used zip ties.
Huh.
And made 2 10. But now, granted, my vest weighs like 22 pounds, but it's better than 42 pounds.
That's an awesome idea.
Yeah, I mean, it's a cheap way, and I had the 10s laying around.
And because it has the cardboard with the zip ties, it's going to stay put.
Yeah, it stays put, and it doesn't like slosh around.
That's also a beautiful idea if you're going to ruck.
Yeah, and I also, like, for a little extra, like, because it didn't want to stay in place to zip tie, so I took, I think I did 1 or 2 zip ties, and then I took some duct tape and like duct taped it so it wouldn't.
Redneck.
Oh yeah, it was redneck. Yeah, I even wrote like Rogue on it. But it was.
I love it. That
it was
is
better
awesome.
than 4. Like, I was so mad whenever I ordered those, which is my fault. But
dude, those are confusing to order. Like, it shouldn't be that.
It
confusing.
says 20, so I was like, well, that's 2 10s. That's
Yeah.
just what I thought.
Yeah, for sure.
And then
makes sense to me.
I went to, like, it was funny because Brittany was like, "Hey, your package is in." She's like, "But I couldn't pick it up." And I'm like, I think she was still pregnant at the time. But I was like, oh, okay. You probably don't need to pick it up anymore. So I like come home and I like run up the steps and I go to like snatch it up as I was going. I was like, what the crap? So like, ooh. I was like, this is not right. Like,
I've messed up something here.
I like threw it on there and pulled it. I was like, oh, they were 20 pounds apiece.
That explains it.
But it come in handy because we did that ruck in Huntsville, and I wore one and Tommy wore one. So.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, so I mean, for like rucking, it's good. Now, granted, it would be better if you have a ruck backpack, because my backpack made it to like the end. Because of course we had Tommy and Rachel with us, so and Justin. So like the last half mile, I was like, "Hey, let's run. We've been walking for 24 hours,
Oh
like
my
11
gosh.
hours. Let's run the last."
How long was that?
We had 12 hours to finish it, and I think we did it in like 10 or so. But there's people that did it in like 5 or 6.
Were you super sore or just tired?
Yeah, like that is. I still, as far as like pain goes from doing anything physical, that's probably the worst pain I've been in. Like my feet, like our last 2 or 3 miles, my feet were like. They hurt so bad. Like every step was like, what are you doing? And
what shoes did you wear?
I wore 5'11" like hiking boots, and it's probably part of the problem because I had just bought them like 3 or 4 days before that and hadn't broke them in much.
Right.
So that might have been it, but still, like when you're talking about, it was 20. It took a little over 26 miles to. Cause we made some wrong turns here and there, but yeah, that's a lot of walking. And we didn't, of course, like I said, we had Tom and Rachel with us, so we didn't stop much. I'm telling you, those two are machines. They They were like, let's go, guys.
They
let's go.
just go.
Go. All right, we're following y'all.
Gas pedal.
Me, Justin, and Chris.
Hey, we're just going to drift off of you. You just keep on leading the way.
I told him, I was like, y'all lucky I didn't bring a rope because I would have tied it to one of y'all. Like, y'all just pull me along.
And a skateboard.
Yeah. It was fun, though. I mean, it wasn't, we've talked about it, wasn't the best organized event, but, you know, we had a good time. I mean, when you're with someone, with a group of people that long, some funny things get said.
Funny things come out,
yeah,
for sure.
It was fun. I think it'd be funner if it was, because it was more, I was expecting more, like, through, I don't know, like trails, kind of stuff like that, but we just walking in the city, like walking people, houses, bad parts of the neighborhood. Like, it was.
Walked a little quicker through some places.
Yeah, we're like, we took a different route. Me and Justin were like, we probably shouldn't walk through here if it's dark. We're like, yeah, it's daylight. Let's go. But it was fun though. It was a good, fun experience.
So what do you like, other than just like your physical, or maybe you can talk about that too, but what do you feel like has been like the biggest change in you since starting Tally Ho?
I mean, like, number one, it's just being every daily life's easier, I guess you would say. Like, it's not, you know, and you don't realize how much, like, with a baby, like, carrying a baby, like, it.
Dude, that pumpkin seat and baby, that's heavy.
Yeah, and it's just like, you know, and getting them in, like, for me, like, I just have a two-door, like a crew cab truck, so I gotta like throw her over the back seat when I put her in my truck, and that, you know, normally that's you don't think about stuff like that until
right.
You know, that and just I don't know, more of trying to be more accountable for stuff, and you know, well, and plus like more. I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but when you see, like, you just want to succeed, and when you're around a certain amount of people or certain type of people that we have here, it's like you just want, there's no end in sight, you know, it's like you just want to keep doing better, and that boils down to more, you know, in everyday life and in the gym, you know, it's just.
Makes you always strive for better.
Yeah, that's more of it than anything.
Yeah.
But it's, for me, it's been more just being in bed, you know, having a kid, and we have a 2 and 5-year-old, so and a baby, so it's a lot of, you know, I don't want to be, and I'm getting older, so it's like, you know, by the time she's, you know, 12, I'm gonna be on 40, so it's like,
I gotta do the work now.
I gotta do something,
yeah.
so I'm not that, and just, and I'll go back to that. Probably my biggest change would be realizing how bad my diet was. Like, it wasn't nothing for, and we've talked about this before too. Like, it was nothing for me to sit down and eat a dozen donuts. Like, and a guy
crush those donuts.
Like, it was like nothing. Like, and going through McDonald's, eating 2 Big Macs and fries and just junk. Like, you don't really, because the world we live in now, they don't tell you that's bad. It's easy.
Yep.
You know, they don't tell you, oh yeah, I mean, you know in your mind it's probably not that good for you, but you don't realize.
But why is it so convenient? If it's so convenient, like.
You don't realize how bad, and like how much better you feel. Like, I used to have bad, like, digestive problems. Like, I haven't had, like, it's just from the junk. Like, you don't realize, like, from the junk, just crappy fast food, sugar. Like, I would drink, and you can add, it's funny, because I'm eating crow, but I used to give, like, Chris so much crap about, like, drinking water all the time. And it sounds stupid, but I was like, dude, I'm not a fish. I'm not drinking water. Like, I would drink a 2 liter of Pepsi a day.
Oh, my gosh.
Like, a day. And now I can't even, like, I tried to get one of those little 12-ounce bottles the other day. And I was like, I'm going to drink one. I didn't even drink, like, 3 sips of it. It's like I should drink that every day? Like, 2 liters of it?
That's insane. And someone like you, like, just because you're thin and you're not, like, gaining weight because you're eating all this garbage, like, your insides are.
Oh, yeah, it's bad. Yeah,
bad news bears.
Like, didn't even realize, like, I just thought it was, well, it's just, I got stomach problem. Didn't think, not to, it's not the best thing to talk about, but dude, we changed our diets and feel better. Everything's normal. And you have more energy. It's just, it's not as convenient. There's times where it'd be a lot easier to run through McDonald's or something. But even now, when we do have those days, it's more like, okay, we can run through Chick-fil-A and get a salad or maybe a grilled chicken sandwich instead of granted, it's still not the best, but it's better than a Big Mac with fries and, because it's, life happens sometimes.
100%.
Like, it just happens. And I'm not one of I feel like if eating clean is better for you, but if you stress yourself out to the point to where the stress is worse than the eating clean, like...
No, you're not really doing a whole lot of good.
Yeah, because, stress, like they say, is a silent killer, But we're probably more, I'm not lying, I'm probably like 75, 80, 20, probably 80-20 on clean, and, I have a donut.
Hey, that's where you live.
Yeah,
that's where life happens. Is that 80-20?
Well, and plus I've been like on the weekends I'll go to Dunkin' Donuts, we get an iced coffee and get some donuts, and that's just what we do, But during the week I try to stay away from the sugar so I can, I'm like, them donuts be good this weekend, but yeah, it's and just learning about it, you don't realize because they don't teach, you learn about it in school, but you don't. I honestly feel like that me and somebody were talking about the other day, I feel like that should be taught at a older date, like instead of, I think we're talking like 8th, 9th grade or something about the periodic table or the food table and all that. Mm-hmm. But you don't keep that, until, but.
Well, and the food pyramid is.
Not what.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, just eat, some sugars is okay, and then it's like, no, not.
Yeah, it's a little.
Not those 70, and you just don't realize until I started coming here and like hearing Lauren and you and everybody talk about it, like you never think to look at what's in something. And then when you start looking at what's in, you're like, I never knew there was almost 70 grams of sugar in a 12-ounce Coke.
Right.
Especially, I think it's like, I was looking at Mountain Dew has almost 70 grams of sugar in it.
That's insane.
This is ridiculous.
And people drink multiple of those, or like 2 liters of that a day.
Yeah, that was like, and that was not, I guess probably more than 2. Like, it was.
That wasn't even hard to do.
No, because, I mean,
get that by lunch.
And that was my problem, is because I always lived that way, because I can, like I said, I can eat a dozen donuts and a gallon of milk and not move the scale. But it's because of what I was eating. It's all junk. It's just all sugar. And now once I started here, I was like, well, I'm going to try to, actually eat clean and try to gain weight. And I ended up gaining almost 20 pounds. But it was more of, eating better. When you're eating all that sugar, it's just you're
not
burning.
adding any protein.
You're not adding, protein or anything like that, and it makes a big difference. I mean, you don't.
So if you were to, this will be our last question. If you were to see someone that was like, maybe tally-ho, maybe I'll keep on doing Planet Fitness, what would you tell them to try to sway them in here?
Just give me an hour. That's all. I was so reluctant to come here because, and you hear it from everybody, was because I felt like I needed to be in shape. Like, I was like, man, I don't want to show up there and be sucking wind and everybody's looking like, who's this guy? Like, and everybody's different. Some people, it's the people. I've never, like, I don't know, I'm somewhat of a people person. I can talk to just about anybody. They might not like me, but we'll have a conversation, But yeah, just give it an hour. That's how everybody has an hour. You spend that in Planet Fitness probably. Come in here, spend an hour. I guarantee you, before you leave, it will outweigh Planet Fitness. Just from the coaches mainly. Nobody in Planet Fitness they're not talking to you. They're not, helping you learn. They're not even even our gym members here know, a lot of them been doing it long enough. They know a lot, about certain things that you could be, hey, you could try doing it this way or try doing it that way.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not going to get that at Planet Fitness. Granted, does it cost a little more? Yeah, but it's worth it. It's fun. And plus, look at this. This is better than Planet Fitness. We have all the cool stuff.
I love that was give me an hour.
Yeah,
just like come in here, try it out, and then make a decision for you. Because nothing that I'm going to say is going to make sense to you because you don't get it yet.
Exactly.
But once you can get in here, people get it, and they're like, I see it.
That's all you need. And plus, I'm the type of person that's more like I'm an 8, so you're not going to convince me to do anything that I don't want to do. You can. Sorry,
that's not how I'm wired.
You can talk to your blue in the face, but now, granted, I'll try it, and then but and a lot of people are that way. They don't. You can talk to them and explain it, and like you said, they don't get we don't. Me and Justin, it's funny. I think Michaela was making fun of, or we were over there or something. Me and Justin could talk CrossFit all day. It's just, I don't know, it's stupid, but we talk it, and a lot of people don't. People look at it what are you talking about? Or I talk about it at work, and they're like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Please stop. He's going again.
Yeah, basically. It's the funny jokes. Have I told you I do CrossFit?
Right.
People, but like you said, they don't understand until you come in here and see it.
Just get an hour, man.
An hour. That's all you need.
I love that. Ingram, thanks for coming in.
No problem.
Sharing your donut stories and all the rest. I appreciate it. Right. Only if you go grab me some to bring some back. But thanks for coming in and chatting with us. And congrats on Member of the Month.
Thank you.
Super proud. And hope you guys enjoyed Ingram's story. We'll catch you next time on Between Two Barbells.